My name is Andrew WK, and we're partying extraordinarily hard right here on Austin Underground.
Hello, my name is Chris Peck, and you're watching Austin Underground. I'm here with Andrew WK. So how are you going? How's your South by day?
It's going great so far. I can honestly say, after having attended many South by Southwest festivals, so many that I've lost count. I mean, we could be up into 8, 9, 10. This is the most enjoyable out of all the ones I've experienced, and I don't take that lightly because the other ones have been enjoyable too. So this has actually reached a new level of party joy.
Well, fantastic. That's great. I'm happy you're enjoying the festival. Now, you just released a new album,
Yes, thank
and it's pretty obvious we're going to talk about it. So it's called You're Not Alone. Talk about what's the writing process on the record. What was it like coming back after all these years and getting back in the studio?
Well, thank you for asking about the album. In many ways, it was in the works for all these years. It was in the works. I mean, some of the material goes all the way back to 2005, 2006, around the last time I released an album. So some of those songs that didn't appear on my album in 2006, Close Calls with Brick Walls, I actually still worked on and finally put them out now. It feels great. It really does. There are few things, I'd even say there's nothing in life that brings me as much reliable joy as making music. And even though I never officially decided to take this long, I mean, when you're partying very hard, time just goes by in a strange way. But I'm very glad there's a new album out. It's brought me a lot of satisfaction and fulfillment, and I hope that other people are getting good feelings out of it, because then it really makes it have a sense of purpose and meaning.
Fantastic. And one thing I found very interesting was the album artwork itself, because the album's called You're Not Alone, and yet it's you standing by yourself. So could you talk about that juxtaposition?
Well, Chris, you are very insightful, and you're the first person who's ever brought that up. That's an aspect that I've tried to alert people to, that you're not alone can be, on one hand, comforting, but it also can be menacing. If there's a presence there, how do you know it's a good presence? How do you know it's a benevolent presence? Maybe it's an evil presence. So I liked the way that title and the album cover and many other aspects of the songs could be interpreted with equal truthfulness from two very different perspectives, maybe even opposite perspectives, and still ring true. And I really appreciate that you noticed that, yeah, I am standing alone. So it says you're not alone, but I sure as heck I am. But there is a serpent there, and there is a figure over in the window. But even then, how far away does someone have to be to count as you being alone? I mean, if you're on a street corner and there's someone across the street, would you say you're alone? You say, well, I'm not alone, there's a guy over there. If you're on a street corner, there's someone 10 miles away and no one else there, are you alone? You probably say, yeah. So if you can see someone, does that mean I can go on and on.
Yeah, for sure. And then, does that apply to one of my favorite songs in the album, The Devil on Your Side?
The devil's on your side. Yeah, well, there you go. That's a presence, right? And oftentimes, just very good of you to bring this up. Nice segue, because we would normally consider the devil as an unwanted presence. So there's a malevolent presence, but I'm trying to flip that and take an opposite view and say, hey, well, even if this is what we perceive as malevolent, maybe there's some good to get out of the presence, and maybe it has a balancing effect, or there's lessons to be learned, which I really do believe. I mean, you have to find some way, ideally, to apprehend the negative experiences of life and try to extract as much value out of them as you can.
Fantastic. Now, when I was growing up, and I'm pretty young, so when I was growing up, I got to know you first from your show on Cartoon Network, Destroy, Build, Destroy. So can you talk about working on that show and what it was like, and how that show impacted now the music you're making since?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, Destroy, Build, Destroy was a children's, well, I'd say a game show for young people, a game show featuring two teams of kids around anywhere between 6 to around 12 or 13 years old, and they would compete to blow things up, destroy things, sometimes school buses, semi-trucks. We blew up some ice cream trucks, bookmobiles, all kinds of things, then build using the wreckage that they created, and then whoever wins the competition that we use with what they've built gets to blow everything up all over again. So there's a lot of explosions, and you don't normally see a game show with that level of explosive power, especially when there's young people around. So I think it was unprecedented on many levels. And I'd say, you know what, it made my music ever since more explosive. but that joyful kind of explosion, like fireworks, where we're using this destructive power for spectacle and for the excitement that it can add, rather than to actually cause harm.
Okay, just a couple more questions here. One thing you've always kind of had, at least in my view, like a more positive message within your music. Can you talk about how that message and your kind of the way you conceived it changed from like your first record to now how you looking back on it now, and how you approach that message?
Well, to me, it all seems very consistent, and I've made the effort to. I'm trying to hit the same mark that I set out to hit in the beginning. And I suppose I haven't hit it yet, which is why I'm still engaged in the same effort to hit that bullseye of positive, powerful feeling. A feeling that's so positive that it can even contain the negative or turn the negative into a positive. And that's been my mindset, my mantra. That's what I have to do for myself, first and foremost, to muster up the energy to do anything in life, let alone this project, this adventure, this quest. So you're always hoping that the experiences you have count as a kind of practice, and then you can improve, and then you get better at trying to get to that sacred space, that place of feeling. But that's the same mountain that I've been climbing since the beginning, and I haven't reached the peak yet.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to us. Now, just looking into future 2018 and even beyond that, what's this next year looking like for Andrew WK?
Well, this year, 2018, and I would even say into 2019, we'll have a lot of touring, a lot of concerts, much like we're doing here in Austin, Texas. My band and I would like to say, better than ever. I've been blessed by the party gods to have these incredible band members devote themselves to the same party quest and to give so much of themselves to trying to muster up and manifest to amplify this feeling. And we're going to take it on the road as far and as wide as we can. And beyond that, I'm at the mercy of the party gods. So whatever assignments they give me, I'll do the best I can, and it's as much of a mystery what I'll do next as it might be to you.
Fantastic. Thank you again so much for talking to us. Again, I'm Chris Peck from Austin Underground, and this is Andrew WK. Now, where can people find you online?
www.andrewwk.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again so much again. For everything else Andrew WK or South by Southwest, make sure to stick tuned to Austin Underground on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and find us on Twitter at ATX Underground. Again, I'm Chris Peck from Austin Underground. We'll see you next time.